calls that one's on the quarterback as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because have one.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Jones wants to throw to start things out here. Catch made by Slayton. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Jones on 3rd down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Giants. Kenny Galladay, 65 yards. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. A break there for this offense as they will get a chance to start at the 40-yard line. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
11 mighty.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Inside handoff to Mixon. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Quick hitter here. It's complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here we go.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Bengals. Mitchell Wilcox from a yard out. And the Bengals are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Guys, you got this. It's win. You got to do it. One more time. It's going to be a good game, boys.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
7-7, our score after 1. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Looking to throw. Jones. Got a man, that's Richie James. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Meanwhile, Jones' throw brought in by Bellinger. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Granted, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Barkley. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That one goes for 8 yards. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley. And another 1st and 10 here. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15. And they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it?
And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have taken the lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever.
He's got a man complete. There he goes right side. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards. That was tremendous. For extra yards.
So was that just great effort, or were there a lot of missed tackles?
Yeah, the defense did help him a bit.
Yeah, he certainly did, but let's focus on the positive.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Bengals are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. His throw incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hole, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And, oh, that's one he's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted.
picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. They will throw on first down with Burrow. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. That's to his running back, complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And this will be a return from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Nixon will try the right side. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now Burrow on first down. He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the top speed he attained there, miles per hour. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he gets it down to the 32. 67 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here.
Brave guy playing with Jimps.
But sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Up the middle with Barkley. And a short gain here down to the 22.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? Rob has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Saquon Barkley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Giants have retaken a third-quarter lead. And the kick here no good, but a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into, and they'll accept that penalty. Brian Dable dialing up a play call here as they will go for. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Bengals drive about to get going. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline.
Brave guy playing with Jimphs. You not scared playing with the Giants?
Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Here we go.
From the 24, Burrow. Throw left side complete to Chase. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
First down, here's Burrow. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Bengals. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is caught at the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out.
Here we go, sack!
Barkley, inside handoff. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
Burrow looking to pass. Got a man open. It's Chase. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are right back in this football game. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Back to Mixon on second down. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here we go with Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. But probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
A gain of 3, second down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is third down and 8.
But just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they can pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
And his kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in for the touchdown with the clock reading triple zeros. And the extra point, if they hit it, will send this thing to overtime.
Well, there's no doubt they just seized the momentum with that one. They can go ahead and kick the extra point here and ride that home wave on into overtime.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. They'll try and run it in. And oh, it's incomplete. So they gambled and went for 2. They went for the win, and it cost them the game. Well, there's no doubt this is going to be talked about for days to come. The decision to go for 2 and the win with all zeros on the clock, and they don't get it. Some questions to answer.
I just scraped it off the top, got it out the road, out the turf, out the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt it, baby, it meant a lot. Whenever I call, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a 2, I'm painted out the full. Yeah, tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew, one for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't gotta lock 'em. Watch the dirty money with Oxy. I miscount cause I'm off a... Yeah, these thicker than a damn proxy. Call my he said copy. Get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody.
I just scraped it off the top. Cut it off the road, off the curve, off the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that baby, that meant a lot. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a two. I paid it out of full.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee morning.